Hi, my name's Kris McInnes, and tonight I'd like to share another true story about the spirit and the wrong room. When I was about 18 years old, just before I moved out of home for the first time, my mother ended up finding this unit or townhouse for rent in South Brisbane. And it was a brand new complex. Nobody had actually even lived in this unit that we moved into. And we were there for about 2 years, I think it was. And nothing at all. Everything was fine. Brand new townhouse. You could still smell the new carpet and the fresh paint. But upstairs, it was just a 3-bedroom townhouse. And it was just me, my mother, and my younger sister living there. And one day I had this big brainstorm. I wanted a bigger bedroom and all of that. So I actually asked my mother, would it be possible to move my bedroom down into the single car garage that was linked to the lounge room, as we weren't really using it to park the car in there anyway. And she said that was fine, go for it. So while she was away for the weekend, I got my friends down to help me, and we moved everything downstairs into this shed. Had no carpet, it was just concrete floor. But yeah, I loved it. Heaps bigger, and I was able to really stretch out my own little pad out there. Anyway, after everybody went home, I was sleeping in this room, and I had this red lava lamp that was sitting in the corner down the bottom of my double bed. And that night I kept on seeing these flashes of black shadows go woof woof across the room quite frequently, and it started to really freak me out, thinking, okay, is there something in here? Because there's never has been a problem in this unit until that night. So I just put it down to, okay, yeah, I'm home alone, in a new room. It's all cool, nothing to worry about. But further on living in this room, a lot more things seem to start to happen. Quite frequently, my future wife stayed over a few times in this room as well. And we both woke up to shadows, like I said, black shadows zooming across the room quite often. And there was one night I was sound asleep in this room, and then I had a glass sitting on the bedside table, completely away from me. There's no way in the world my arm could have knocked it off the shelf or anything like that. And then suddenly smash across the concrete floor. A different night again, one of my good friends stayed over, as my family had gone away for a weekend again. So he slept up in my sister's bedroom, which was actually my old bedroom, because she wanted a bigger room when I moved downstairs. And we had a few drinks and all of that night, and anyway, we went to bed, and I was knackered. I just laid on the double bed with the light on, just laying there, drifting off, and then suddenly, as I was drifting off, I heard this female's voice just go, "Kris." And then I didn't quite pick up what it was at first, because I was just in such a dream state. And then I heard, "Kris," a second time. And then it just dawned on me what was happening. And I've jumped up, and I'm freaking, what was that? What was that? And in this room, I had this candle holder that was like old school scales. And had these little candles on each side. They weren't lit or anything, but they're hanging from chains. And once I've realised what was going on, I saw the candles on each side of these scales start to sway backwards and forwards, until they started hitting the main center of the scales, going bang, 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 bang. And by this stage, I was just there praying to God to make this stop, make this thing go away, and all of that. And I've jumped up and I've ran up the staircase and to my mate's room, or my sister's room, where he was sleeping. And he's like, "What's up?" And I told him what had just happened, and he goes, "Yeah, I thought I heard that, but I forgot your parents weren't home, and I just figured it was your mum or something while he was falling asleep." So that night I slept on the floor. I wasn't going to go back down there after that. There had been a few parties we had there through the time, and like even my mates would see the screen door go literally open and shut. The handle would move down and up as it's unlocking itself to open, and they'd just apparently stare at each other and go, "Okay, yep." And then there was this is a little funny. I was so all of this is all happening around this unit, and the same mate that was upstairs one day sleeping, he ended up crashing in my room, and he was on the floor, and my wife to be was in bed with me, and we're all laying there probably about I don't know about 15-20 minutes, and my mother came in, opened the door for something, and as soon as she's opened the door, I don't know who screamed first. I don't know if it was me, my mate, or what, but all of us ended up screaming because we startled each other. My mother walked in, and one of us screamed, and then my mate screamed, and then my wife screamed, and then so my mother let out a blood-curdling scream. We're all screaming in this bloody shed, and nothing happened. It was just because I was all so on edge about what was happening in this place. I found that quite amusing. I think we all did that night. But another thing that happened in this room was I was there again. My wife were asleep in bed, and being a modern unit, I had the push button for the electric door to open and shut. That wasn't even in the room. That was in the kitchen drawer. And we're fast asleep one night. Suddenly we woke up to this big brrr with the roller door going up. And we've shit ourselves. We've freaking woken up seeing this happening at the foot of the bed. And the bloody thing, unfortunately, when they put it, I most likely wasn't intentional. But when this roller door was going up, I had a wall unit thing in front of it. And I had an old big post-war tool ship, timber tool ship, sitting on the top of the unit. And as this door's going up, the bloody thing caught my tool ship, and then that was my 18th birthday present, and it just flung it to the concrete floor and smashed it to bits. I ended up repairing it, but it just wasn't never really the same after that, unfortunately. So it was a bit disheartening, as well as I had this old antique torpedo bottle that was in a stand that my father gave me, and that ended up shattering across the glass off on the concrete as well. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that at all, but I don't believe it intentionally did it. It was just trying to scare us that night. Not that it would have cared either, to be honest. Yeah, so a lot of weird, crazy things was continuously happening in this place. And a different friend of mine at a party, before at this stage, it was only really me and possibly my wife that knew what was happening in here. And so I kind of kept it to myself at first. There was one night at a party, I had to shoot off. I don't know what I was doing, getting more supplies or something, I don't know. Anyway, I've come back and my mate was gone. There's a certain mate, and I'm like, "Where's such and such gone?" And one of the other one goes, "Oh, he took off. He looked white. He took off because he swears and declares he saw a woman on door to the shed, which was my bedroom, on the outside of it, just screaming, going bang, 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 on the door. So he went cold, he went quiet, and just took off. And he actually has experienced a few things around our homes in the past. Yeah, so that happened as well. Like I said, a lot of weird things are happening in this place, and we were there probably about 18 months to 2 years, and nothing happened at all until about 6 months from the end of that, just because I moved downstairs into the shed. So it makes me wonder what actually happened there. Obviously, we were the first people to ever live in this unit, so it can't have been anything in the unit itself. I put it down to maybe it was a earthbound spirit, that maybe it was an old property there at one stage and that's where the house was or something, or who knows, maybe she was buried in that specific spot under the garage, because it was just like she didn't want me down there. She didn't want me sleeping in the garage, which I find bizarre. I probably would have thought about moving back up into my old bedroom, but I didn't really want to kick my 8-year-old sister out back into her small room. I didn't have the heart to do it. I felt too guilty over that one, so I just put up with it. Yeah, so like I said, don't know what the issue exactly was, but whatever it was, I really pissed her off for sleeping in that room. But yeah, so after that, we all kind of went our own way anyway. Me and my wife moved out for the first time. And yeah, my mother moved on to a different place. But yeah, that's just another crazy story of my life, something that happened to me. Yeah, so if you did like my story, please don't forget to like my video and subscribe if you'd like to see more like this. I'm just telling you now, every like, every subscriber, it really does help me so much for what I'm trying to do, and I really do appreciate every single one of yous out there. Thank you very much, and have a great night. See you next time. Bye.